every energy drink keeps you going.
It's getting far too late, my friend. Let the hammer fall.
Okay, we're here at Bloodstock. How was your set?
Bloodstock? No, it was fantastic. We haven't played in 2 weeks, so I felt a bit of like the ring rust, you know, the boxers and MMA artists feel. But overall, it was really good. We've never played for a crowd this big in the UK before, so it's for us. It was amazing to do this.
You've played Bloodstock before. How was it in comparison?
Well, last time we played was 6 years ago, and back then it was only indoors. So I have estimated the amount of people there to 2,000 about, and today must have been 5 times that amount at least. So it was amazing for us, really fantastic.
If you'd met someone who'd never heard of you before, how would you sell your band? What would you say were you like?
Well, if they never, it depends. I usually, because I get this, not the question a lot, but I guess it's like, what are you playing in the band? What are you like? So it depends on if the band. I usually start by asking, do you know a band called Iron Maiden or Judas Priest? Normally they don't, but sometimes they do. And then I say, it's pretty much like that. But if they don't do it, then I would just say heavy metal music, like raw music performed with a lot of passion for what we believe in. I don't think anybody who doesn't like heavy metal wants to go listen to Hammerfall just because somebody told them to. But I think that's the thing with heavy metal. It's got this inherent power that I don't think a lot of other music styles have. So if they hear it by accident, they might not know what it is, but they hear it by accident, and they might think, yeah, this is pretty cool. I might check that out. So.
To win someone over as a fan, which songs would you say you have to definitely download?
Anyone. It doesn't matter. They all represent Hammerfall in various ways. I'd say for like the recognition purposes, I guess Hearts on Fire would be, because that's our biggest hit. But from the new album, I think because that represents Hammerfall much more the way we are now. I think if you take one song from each album, you're pretty safe. But when this question comes up, like what do you sound like? I always say, because we have one best of album was released a couple of years ago, and that album is 3 or 4 songs from every album that we released until that point, and those songs, that album is a very good barometer, I think you say, barometer of what Hammerfall is all about. But then after that, we sort of developed a little bit. So I don't know.
All right, tell us more about Infected.
Well, Infected is an album that came out this year, and it's an album that we really haven't toured with properly. We're only doing these festivals now, and the proper tour will take place late in this year. So what we're doing now is sort of just being out there playing festivals. We've done festivals every weekend this summer, more or less, and we're just trying to get the album out there. Because I think no matter what people think about the album, some people think that we should sound the way that we did on the first 2 albums, which were 13 years ago. That's the second one. So people don't realize that the band is an organic element. We grow. We sort of things happen whether you like it or not. Basically, whether we like it or not too. When we develop, we grow as persons, and that reflects in the music. So Infected is a result of that, I think. A huge result of that, actually. But the way I see it is, our album No Sacrifice, No Victory came out in 2009, and this one came out this year. So it's 2 years between those albums, which is pretty much like Ram It Down and Painkiller with Judas Priest. I'm a huge Judas Priest fan. This is why I'm making this analogy. But for me, if No Sacrifice, No Victory was our Ram It Down, then Infected is our Painkiller. That's the way I see it, as because it's the same type of music, but we just developed it. We perfected what we started, basically.
How long did you spend on it?
Normal amount, maybe 2 months of actual recording. Then there's indefinite amount of songwriting, usually 6 to 8 months.
Which song took the longest to finish?
Very good question. I'm not sure even I can even remember all the songs now. There's this song called 666, or rather, yeah, 66, the enemy within. So I was going to go Number of the Beast there for a second, but I'm a little bit drunk now, so things pop into my head when they shouldn't be there. That one took a lot of time because originally I was this melody that's on the keyboards. I was playing that on the guitar for a long time, and that was the way it stayed for a long time. I had more or less the whole song. I just didn't know what to do with it. And all of a sudden, I actually made a mistake. I tried it with the keyboards, and then I made a mistake of copy-paste of the keyboard in the wrong place. And I realized it sounds awesome. Let's keep that. So this is what we do.
Which other festivals have you played recently then?
We did a lot of Sonispheres this year in Switzerland, in Finland, in Spain just recently. Hellfest, which we've never done before in France, and also like the more common countries. Of course, we do a lot in Sweden, a lot in Germany, which is our main area of our main market, I guess you could say. But what I think the Sonisphere in Spain and the Hellfest, those were two of the highlights of this year for me, as personally. I mean, like, you know, because Hammerfall, I'm not Hammerfall is me. I am Hammerfall, not alone. I mean, it's all together with other guys. But for me, Hammerfall is everything I want to do. Everything I love is this band. So I take it very personally when somebody says I don't like you, or you know, if they say I don't like your music, fine. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But if they say I don't like you because you don't sound like you did on the first two albums, then I take offense, because that's bullshit. And that's the way. That's like saying, yeah, I like Iron Maiden, but only the first two albums with a different singer, with Paul Diano. It's bullshit. It's so narrow-minded, and we get some of that too, but not much. It doesn't matter if it's a lot or a little. It's because I feel so passionate about what we're doing. I take everything personally, basically, and I have to stop doing that because it's really annoying.
Well, bands evolve; they have to evolve. So
that's what it is. Bands are organic. It's just the way it is. You know, who wants to play the same songs, the same sound over and over again? To me, because some bands do that, and to me, that's a sign that they have given up. They have nothing more to offer. They just want to ride out the, you know, whatever fame they have into the sunset, and that's it. But we try to develop. We try to do our best all the time because we want to continue for a long time. We're not done by far. You know, we have many years. We've been around for 15 years, but we have 15 years at least in us.
So if it ever stopped being about the music, if you stopped enjoying it, yeah, would you call it a day?
Probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, the thing is, with Hammerfall, we could never exist without Joachim on vocals. It's just the way it is, because the vocalist, the singer is so... He gives the voice to the band for anybody like listens to it, and that's just the way it is. And I like that, you know, that because he's got a great voice. But what we've been talking about sometimes over the years, like joking mostly, but you know, he says always, "You can't quit. There's no Hammerfall without you." But there is, because anybody can write guitar riffs, but nobody can sound like the singer. Like, you know, like Judas Priest, when Rob Halford left and Ripper Owens came in. I love the Ripper album, especially Demolition. I think that's one of the best Judas Priest albums that they ever did. But it's just not the same, right? And I think that's the problem with this. So when we don't think it's fun anymore, either of us, I think we have to quit, you know? I don't know. I can't tell what's going to happen, but if it's not fun, I don't think anybody wants to do it anymore.
Well, it's an admirable attitude to have, really, because there's too many bands out there that seem to just lose the passion for it and carry on.
I guess so, yeah. But I'm not going to say that we're never going to do that, because I don't know. But for me personally, if I don't like what I'm doing, I'm a really bad actor, so I can't really fake it, you know, like just put on a smile and pretend I'm liking it. I find that very hard. So if I'm not having fun, I think you'll notice. And then I guess it will be time to call it quits.
If you weren't doing music, what do you think you'd be up to now?
Realistically, or what I want to have done with my life?
Both.
Well, realistically, I think I would have been a teacher of some sort. I was going that route before I started. Well, before things started to happen with Hammerfall, rather, because I was when I was 20 or 18, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna do music for the rest of my life. I'm gonna do this and that, and and nothing happened. So I realized that I probably had to get an education and start, doing something with my life that wasn't based on the music. So I started trying to become a history teacher for a while. I like history. I think it's an underrated subject because there's I don't know the saying exactly, but history is how you learn to deal with the future. I think maybe that was more true 1,000 years ago, probably. But it still is. History is important and interesting to me. But if I would have chosen any profession now, let's say I was 18 now, and I could choose for myself what I should do. There's no doubt in my mind I would do something like a zoologist with animals. I would work with animals in any capacity, basically. It's something I probably, if let's say Hammerfall dies tomorrow, I'd probably try to do something like that. I don't know. It's have a long education, all that stuff, but that would be something. That's something I'm really passionate about as well. Like I love animals much more than I love people, actually. So.
That's really interesting. Anything to say to the fans?
Yeah, thank you for making today a fantastic experience for us on stage. It was unbelievable. And I hope to see you in December on the Saxon tour that we're going to do. December 13th to the 20th, all over UK. See you there.